That did not take long at all. Well, today we're going to be looking at an article from Deadline titled The Acolyte Cancelled, No Season 2 for Disney Plus's Star Wars series. And I must say, looks like Lucasfilm has ignored everyone's plea for hashtag Acolyte Season 2, hashtag Renew the Acolyte. So, let's get into this. The story of the Acolyte will not continue, with Lucasfilm opting not to proceed with the second season of the Star Wars offshoot starring Amanda Stenberg, sources tell Deadline. Word of the decision comes more than a month after the 8-episode first season of the series from creator, director, executive producer, and showrunner Leslie Headland wrapped its run on Disney+. The news is not entirely surprising. The Acolyte did okay with critics, with 78% on Rotten Tomatoes, but divided Star Wars fans, which was reflected in its overall viewership. And I will say, I don't think I've ever seen the fan base so divided before in the Star Wars community, but again, though, I've been seeing a lot of videos on TikTok now from supporters of the show basically complaining about how apparently everyone who didn't like the show, aka toxic fans, ultimately won and ruined it for everybody else, when it's just like they're going on to say, yeah, toxic fans couldn't just let us enjoy the show and have fun with the show. But yet, apparently, for the people who don't like the show, we're not allowed to like it. If we don't like the show, we were called racist, ifs, phobes, all of that stuff. So, like I said in my previous video, if you liked The Acolyte, that is awesome. I'm happy for you. Enjoy what you enjoy, like what you like. But people are allowed to dislike or hate something as well. So, seeing all these videos on TikTok of people crying out and calling everyone who didn't like it toxic, it's like, okay, it's time to stop all that crap. Okay? The people who have hated the show or disliked the show, we've moved on. And I get it. You have every right to be upset if you like the show and you were hoping for a second season. But don't be going out there and trying to stir up more stuff and just call people toxic and hateful just because they didn't like the show and they don't agree with you. So anyways, moving on. Driven by interest into the venerable space franchise, The Acolyte got off to a strong start when it launched June 4th with 2 episodes generating 4.8 million views in its first day on the streamer to rank as the biggest series premiere on Disney Plus this year. The tally rose to 11.1 million views globally after 5 days of streaming. Corroborating Disney's data, the series made its debut on Nielsen's top 10 original charts in its premiere week at number 7, 488 million minutes viewed, climbing to number 6 the following week. But The Acolyte could not sustain the momentum, dropping out of the top 10 in week 3 and staying off before returning at number 10 after the release of the finale. So, if you know what they're talking about, week 3 was the episode that introduced the crazy witch coven and that that Power 1, Power 2, Power Many weird dance stuff. Like, that still just blows my mind, that scene, because like I remember watching that episode as just like, it could not, it did not feel like Star Wars at all whatsoever. Like, I literally sat there, like, jaw dropped, confused, like, what am I watching? And everyone had the same reaction. So it's, week 3, episode 3. That's where they lost everybody. But so, anyways, like fellow global streamers Netflix and Prime Video, Disney Plus has a high viewership threshold for renewing high-end, big-budget series that cost well above $100 million per season to make. In interviews, Hedlund has revealed that she had pitched her ideas for a second season, sharing her hopes for a renewal. Lucasfilm's first and most successful to date Disney Plus series, The Mandalorian, is carrying on, crossing over to features with the upcoming The Mandalorian and Grogu. Ahsoka, the company's series that preceded The Acolyte, has been renewed for a second season. So, all I gotta say is, I'm fine with there being no second season of The Acolyte. I did hear from other sources that apparently they're looking at doing a comic for The Acolyte to finish it out. Because now, with everything that happened in season 1, I mean, you have Yoda in the end, which it's like, what was going on with that? Basically kind of tarnishing Yoda's character because, either he was just completely stupid and oblivious to everything that happened in The Acolyte, or at the end there, man, I even forget bald lady's name. The green Jedi Master. I mean, I've already forgotten all the characters' name. That's how memorable The Acolyte was. At the end there, she's going and telling Yoda, we need to have a talk. So, did she tell him everything? And now later on, like, Yoda just hides it? Like, anyways, that's all. Watch my previous video on the Acolyte, my review of it. But yeah, now they introduced Plagueis in The Acolyte, so now Plagueis just showed up for a brief second, and now that's it. So yeah, like I said, I would say that I'm definitely not upset and kind of happy they don't have a second season, because I mean, it just truly was. It's just not a good show. And again, there's going to be people who are going to scream it to the hilltops that it was great, that we're wrong for disliking it or hating it, that we're toxic, and that there needs to be a second season. But it's like, you're, like I said, you're allowed to enjoy what you want. You're allowed to like what you want. But the numbers don't lie. And you can go on YouTube and see so many other videos from other creators who genuinely disliked the show and gave very good, valid reasons for disliking the show. I mean, all it takes is just a little bit of time to just go through YouTube and watch those videos. Now, granted, yes, there are people out there who are truly toxic and have absolutely no business being in the fan base. But my God, just saying you dislike the show and being molded into those toxic people in that group, I mean, it's just, I'm over it. It's time to move on. For those of you who enjoyed the show, I'm truly sorry that there is no second season. But for those people like myself who dislike the show, we do not have to worry about watching or having to see a second season. So, with that, I want to say thank you for sticking around and watching the video. If you could hit that like and subscribe button, I would greatly appreciate it, because it only helps the channel and It's a free thing to do. It takes no time or effort to just click a button. And with that, I will see you in the next video.